Hi everyone, I welcome you to this Programming World channel. So in this channel, we posting videos regarding uh, learning the C programming, and also in coming days we will post the videos to help you to learn C++ and also Java and other high-level programming languages. So already we have posted videos regarding the C programming elements. So in my last video, I have covered about the arrays and also how that could be uh, organized in the in our computer memory. So now I move on to the next level. That is what about static arrays in C programming. So in this video tutorial, I will discuss about what is mean by static array and how it could be taken into our C programming. So the concept about the static array is, so we can specify the size of the array in our program. Okay. So please understand static values that is different. Static array is different. So static array in the sense what we defining the size of the array. Okay. We defining the size of the array. Okay. So within that only we can able to insert the input and also we can process the values what we have stored in our array. So we know the meaning of array. That is what about array is what a collection of similar elements and the elements are stored in a sequential manner or in a linear fashion. Okay. So about static arrays, that's about what you can specify the array in your program itself. You can see that actually I provided that how we can make it. So first of all, you have to provide the data type name. Afterwards, you have to give the array variable. So within the square brackets, you can mention what about the maximum size you want to have in your have it in your program. Okay. Then, so once you declared your static array with size, okay, how you can insert the elements. So that is very simple one. So you see, once you have declared the maximum size which is required, then when you implement your code, you have to ask your user what about their maximum uh, requirement, in the sense what about the number of elements they want to process, but that should not exceed, what the size what you have declared. Okay, so that's why I have made it here. The n should be less than or equal to size of the variable. Okay, so like that only you have to make it. Then you have to use this input statement scanf to insert the elements, and also you have to use the format specifier according to your array type. Okay. Then the loop structures are recommended. Why? We know that actually to read and display the elements. Okay. So now I go to the programming model, how it can be done with the help of C programming. So you can see that apart from what the header file inclusion and main function definition, okay, you can see that I have made the array in the name like list, and the maximum size what is required here in the sense what 10. I don't want to go beyond that. Suppose if you want in your application, you can provide the value size like 100 also. Okay, but I for demonstration purpose I have taken the size like 10. And here, okay, then here we have the output statement to represent what the user has to do with our program. Okay, then I have declared an integer variable that takes what the size, I mean the number of elements required to process here. That should be what less than 10. That's why I given here. You see, the size should be what, I mean the number of elements should be what less than 10. Like that only you have to feed. If it is what greater than 10, then what we can do, we can give an error message. That we can do it in with the help of what if and else control structure. For example, you see n if n less than 10, okay, less than or equal to 10, okay, less than or equal to 10, then okay, so we can allow this to do. So the program can take the inputs and also display the elements what you have provided. Okay, else, okay, I'm giving what I throw a error message. So printf, okay, size, okay, so I can give like size, so number of elements should be, number of elements should be 10. Okay, 10 or less than 10. Okay, like this you can have, or else simply you can provide some simple messages like the maximum allowed size is what, 10, like that also you can give it. So it is what an error message. So according to our perspective, how we can make our user to understand that scenario, like that you have to make it. Okay, so here you can see that I have made what an if control structure based. Okay, once the given number of elements, that means what the current usage, the number of elements to be used, so it should be what less than 10, then only you see the input phase will be executed. So input phase, that's about what, collecting the input and storing in your array. So here you can see that the array is what static, but actually it works with what dynamic values like list of I. So here it takes what dynamic values. Okay, it takes the values one by one and store it in the array. Okay, then the output phase will be done. Okay, here, because what input we provided, whether that is what that is stored or not, to confirm that we have taken the output statement. Okay, so that is what, as we discussed in array, the same output statement only we have taken. Okay, the condition, everything is what same, only what, instead of having what a prescribed size already 4. Okay, because here we have static values already we have in our array. Here please understand, it is what static values, but here it is what static array with respect to what size. Okay, so here what we doing, so we have to display the elements up to what, n. Okay, that's why what we are doing for I equal to 0, I less than n. So the index which is allowed what, 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so 0 to n minus 1 index positions will be taken, and those values will be written in a linear fashion. Okay, that's why I have used what the slash t here. Okay, so now you can see that what's happening here. I'm going to execute that. Yes, now you see it is asking how many elements you want to store. That should be less than 10, but what I'm doing is 11. I'm giving like 11. You see it giving an error message like number of elements should be what, less 10 or less than 10. Okay, then again if I go for what, compiling and executing that, you can identify that. Okay, I'm giving what, elements 5 elements I want to enter. Okay, so 10, then 2, 3, then 5, then 4, right? So we provided 5 elements. What happened is those 5 elements are processed in this 10, 2, 3, 5, 4, like that. Those elements are processed in this, and also those are written in a linear fashion. That is what, by using the slash t character separator, we get a very decent output format. Okay, so this is the thing you have to understand. Okay, so the static array, it means what, we defining the size in our program itself, and we have to read what about the number of elements you want to store, and that should be what, lesser than your maximum size what you provided in your array. Okay, afterwards you can take input phase by using what, the for loop and scanf statement with format specifier, and the format to be followed forward reading the input. Okay, then you have to use an index variable. Okay, that index variable will be used to what, represent the index positions where the input data have to be input data have to be stored. Okay, the output phase, you can find it here. That's about what, the same thing. Okay, the same thing, but only instead of scanf statement we go with what, printf statement to display the elements what we stored. Okay, suppose a given size n, it is what, greater than the array size. Okay, so what happen is this error will be thrown. Okay, so in this video I just discuss about what, the static array, and also what is the difference between static values and static array. Here you can see that static values, these are all what, static values. Whenever you execute this program, so what values you have assigned, those values will be taken into your array, and also those will be processed. But actually in static array, not like that. In terms of size only you have mentioned, that is what, the array size always what, 10 whenever you execute this code, but the input that could be what, changed. Okay, so you can give a different values. Okay, that will may be processed according to your need. Okay, so like this only we have discussed in this video. I hope it gives a it gives a uh, it gives you the concept to understand about how it works, like static array and also the static values. In coming video, I will discuss about the dynamic array. Okay, so please, I request you to subscribe this channel, and if you feel that it is good for you, please click on the like button and also click on the bell icon to get the notification for the new upcoming videos. Thank you for supporting us.